The new Toyota CHR will take you many places. The wrong lane is probably not one of them.
Hello and good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Betty and Bobby Allison South Stadium on the campus of Missouri State University. I'm Corey Riggs, along with our soccer analyst, Jan Stolle, and thanks for joining us. Jan, when you look at the visitors on the scoreboard today, Northern Iowa has a new head coach in Bruce Erickson, and he has completely turned this program around.
Oh, definitely so, Corey. He's they're to 10-1 start, and obviously they're looking for another win here today.
On the other side of the pitch today for Missouri State, Jan, they are kind of fighting an uphill battle against a nationally ranked team, and now they're a couple players down.
Yes, against Indiana State, their goalkeeper got hurt, broke her nose. So defensively, they're really going to have to step up today.
When we come back, we'll take a look at the starting 11 and the coaches for both these clubs as college soccer continues on the Valley on ESPN3.
We have leaders. We exceed goals. And make new memories every single day. Celebrating 25 years of women's athletics, we are the Missouri Valley Conference.
Missouri State University's public affairs mission emphasizes cultural competence, ethical leadership, and community engagement, giving students a solid foundation for success. Living and learning at MSU is accessible and affordable, helping educational investments yield lifelong returns. With a wide range of student activities and leadership opportunities, the future starts now at Missouri State. Follow your passion, find your place at Missouri State University.
On a superb Saturday afternoon in Springfield, Missouri, we welcome you back to the Valley on ESPN3 in the shadow of JQH Arena here at the Betty and Bobby Allison South Stadium. Women's college soccer today on the Valley on ESPN3. The starting 11 for Bruce Erickson's Northern Iowa Panthers look like this. Two prolific scorers up front in Brunelle Yount and Sarah Brandt, and arguably one of the best keepers in the nation in Jamie Richenberger between the goals today for Northern Iowa. Meanwhile, for Missouri State, Rob Brewer's starting lineup will look like this with Kuhnfield, Pronzinski, and Eichelman at forwards. And then today, Jan mentioned it in the open, Lexi Palacio from Leawood, Kansas gets the start today, replacing the injured Caitlin Maxwell. Our officials for this afternoon's contest, Matt Teeter, Austin Stiles, Andy Wilkinson, and the fourth official today is Mr. Henry Enlow. Both teams out on the pitch now on as nice a day as you could ask for, Jan. A cold front pushed through this morning. Some rain kind of greeted everyone as the day started, and now we've got a great day for soccer, all except for this wind that is gusting upwards of 25 miles an hour, usually right around 17, but some big gusts could wreak havoc on the game.
Absolutely. It's a crosswind actually blowing, I guess, towards the east. But here again, ball gets high up in the air. It could float away a little bit. So I would look for both teams to try to keep the ball on the ground.
Missouri State has pretty much owned this series over the years. This is the 23rd time these teams have met. Missouri State, 18 wins against 4 losses. But a year ago, it was the Panthers up in Iowa that got a 1-0 victory. We'll see if Missouri State has any better luck today on their home field. Northern Iowa going with a 4-4-2 today. Missouri State gets the first touch. The 45-minute clock starts, and we are underway with soccer here in Springfield, Missouri. These teams so far this season have kind of been going in different directions. Missouri State with a 5-9 record, 1-2 in conference play. That time as Jordan Eichelman got tripped up. We'll get a whistle, and Missouri State will get a free kick here. Meanwhile, Northern Iowa 10-1-1, an unblemished 2-0 mark so far in league play. That's a heck of a start to the tenure of Bruce Erickson, who is familiar with Valley soccer, a longtime assistant at Creighton University, Jan, and Bruce was there when Creighton was a dominant force in this league.
Yeah, my good friend Bob Worming coached back then, and they were always, well, most of the time, at least in the Final Eight in NCAA, and I think they made a couple of trips to the Final Two, too.
Jamie Richenberger with the goal kick, a transfer from Butler Community College, and she has taken the Division I soccer world by storm. 8 shutouts and a save percentage that has her at number 4 in the nation. She's got a record of 9-1, Jan, and has 8 shutouts.
And also, isn't she rather young? Isn't she a...
She's a junior after the 2 years at Butler Community College, a Wichita, Kansas product out of Bishop Carroll High School. Missouri State looking for a scoring chance here. That one sent high and wide. That will bounce all the way back to the fence here at Allison South Stadium. A crazy weekend on the Missouri State campus as we play college soccer. The campus has been taken over by high school marching bands. The Ozarko Marching Band competition pretty much has got every inch of this campus covered with hundreds of marching bands from all over the state of Missouri. I was surprised to see the Northern Iowa bus even make it here. They had to work through quite a bit of traffic as there are 18-wheelers with band gear parked all over the campus. Kaylee Putnam sends that one back into the box.
Corey, I was talking to Kyle Motes, the MSU athletic director, before the game. Not only is this band contest through the day, it also goes through the night, he said. So I guess probably up till midnight. So, yeah.
Well, it is a huge deal here, and lots of bands. I saw Willard High School, their cutting-edge marching band out behind us earlier, and say if you're a high school in Southwest Missouri, you're probably on this campus this afternoon along with us. That ball goes out. Northern Iowa thought they had a throw in, but instead it'll go back to Missouri State. Bears wearing the white tops and the maroon bottoms on their kits today. Northern Iowa in the purple. Throw in here, quickly taken away. That's Kelsey Yarrow. Yarrow with a goal and 2 assists on the season for Northern Iowa. Told you Lexi Palacio in goal today for Missouri State, taking over for Caitlin Maxwell, injured in that Indiana State game. Missouri State got a conference win against the Sycamores. They won in that matchup, but it took its toll on the Bears. Not only did they lose Maxwell, but they lost a midfielder and a defender as well, and Brittany Robinson. So 3 players down coming into a match with arguably not just one of the best teams in the Valley, but one of the best teams in the country. Northern Iowa ranked number 13 in the nation. Loyola, the Ramblers, ranked number 14. So some very competitive teams in the Missouri Valley this season.
Yes, and UNI obviously has played a pretty strong schedule coming in here too, and that always helps because before the conference game, many times if you play the better teams, you are just going to get better too.
Morgan Teela Jr. from Davenport, Iowa with the throw in here, headed back by Missouri State's Jacqueline Betts. A lot of the opening minutes of this match playing in the middle third of the field as the ball's fought for and contested right around the big Missouri State logo. Here's a good ball that gets through all the way out for Brunelle Yount. 7 goals, 2 assists, a team best 16 points on the season. And Jan, you have got to mark her when she gets near the goal.
Yeah, you can't let her turn. I mean, that's probably what Coach Brewer has told his defense is not to let her turn with the ball.
Palacio, the freshman keeper, puts that one back in play. This ball sent way ahead. Yount again tries to run it down, but can't keep the ball in play as it crosses the goal line. It'll be another goal kick here for the Blue Valley High graduate, Lexi Palacio. She puts the right foot to it. A low one trying to take the wind out of play, headed down by a teammate. And Northern Iowa tries to send it back the other way, and it'll be purple ball here. Teal, another throw in front of Missouri State's head coach, Rob Brewer. Rob in his 22nd season of work at Missouri State, along with his associate head coach, Kirk Nelson. Year number 4 for Kirk. Kelsey Yarrow tries to turn that one in, and it gets booted out of play here with 38 minutes to go until halftime.
Yeah, she was trying to get the ball on the instep of her foot. Instead, it came on the outside, so it was an unfortunate miss kick.
Palacio sends this one back to midfield. Good bounce on the turf, but there was a whistle.
Called for pushing, so.
Missouri State with the free kick here, and they'll send it back before they send it forward. Lauren Fisher, center back today, plays that one way ahead of everybody. And into the hands of Jamie Richenberger. Told you the goalie from Wichita, Kansas. As a freshman at Butler Community College, she started all 24 games. She went, get this, Jan, 21-3-0 with a .45 goals against average.
That is very impressive.
66 saves, a better than 85% save percentage, and set single-season team records in wins and shutouts. Of those 21 wins, how many do you think were shutouts?
I'll guess 10.
How about 18 shutouts and 21 wins, as Missouri State will just have to clear that one off. Heady play that time by the freshman from St. Louis, Jacqueline Betts.
Well, with such a strong keeper for you and I, Missouri State needs to try to utilize the width of the field and then punch the ball into the 18 and take some hard shots and see what they can create by taking a lot of low, hard shots on the ground. But so far, the ball has been up in the air quite a bit, Corey.
This is Rachel Cottrell bringing it up for Missouri State. She's got a player out on the wing. See if they can get one into the box here and have a play. That shot rolls in a little too slow, and an easy grab for Richenberger. Had something going here, Jan. I thought it was really trying to set up the attacker that time.
Yes, they for a flick or something like that, but she was just a couple of steps behind.
Ball played high up into the air here. Fought for. Missouri State able to get a toe on it. This one popped back up. Headed back into the attack end by Morgan Teal. Missouri State trying to get it turned that time. Brooke Prodzinski sends it out of play back to the Panthers. Prodzinski, a good year so far, 3 goals and an assist out of Olathe South High School in Kansas. One of 2 Brooks for this Missouri State team that had a great night last Thursday. They got that 2-1 win against Indiana State. That snapped a 3-game losing streak for the Bears. Brooke Prodzinski and Brooke Zimmerman both recorded goals. Pair follow Mary Dizador, each with 3 goals on the season. Another ball put back out of play and onto the track here. Missouri State looks for a fresh ball for the throw-in. Deep throw toward the box, headed away by the Panthers. Panthers have a hard time settling it that time before Kelsey Yarrow collects it and sends it up the pitch. They've got numbers here. Good job that time by the Missouri State back line to send it back to center field.
Very good marking there by the defense.
Cottrell sends the ball ahead.
Balls like that, Corey, they have to get them to their feet, because whenever or one of them should have run it diagonal right there too, but if they don't get it to the feet, it usually ends up with for the defense to get the ball.
That was a point of emphasis that you brought up in the last game that we broadcast here when we were here for a men's soccer game. The attacking on the diagonal line as opposed to just a head-on attack really makes a difference in how the goalie has to defend.
Yes, and also it opens up, it opens up the defense. I mean, you have to create space on the offensive third, and by doing that, a lot of diagonals, overlaps, flicks and things like that, but diagonal runs usually creates that space.
2 shots so far in this one for Northern Iowa. Missouri State still looking for a good scoring chance here in the early going in the first half. Told you Missouri State leads the all-time series 18-4. Northern Iowa getting the victory last year in Cedar Falls 1-0. That was back on September 23rd. Here's another chance here. The defense working, no whistle. Now there's one. Sometimes the wind blows that whistle sound. It took her down.
Well, I'll tell you what, Corey, that ball was inside the box. That should be a penalty kick.
And it looks like they're setting it up outside here for a free kick. So Missouri State really dodging a bullet here. As they're going to give Sarah Brandt, with 6 goals on the season for UNI, a free kick from point blank range here, but as Jan mentioned, could have easily been a PK. She puts her hand in the air, pops this one up. Will anyone get a head on it? Missouri State will. Still close. That one's cleared back out.
Good job by the defense there.
Ashley Kuhnfield for Missouri State in on the charge that time to try and get things out and clear out the traffic in front of Lexi Palacio. Here's another run in, a left-footed shot, well off the mark that time as Sarah Brandt pulled the trigger. Brandt, a starter as a true freshman, state champion for Ankeny Centennial in Ankeny, Iowa.
Brandt could have taken another couple of 2-3 steps and gotten right inside the 18 there, but again.
She also had Sydney Hayden there with her, a 5'3" sophomore. Hayden had the game-winning goal against Missouri State last year in Cedar Falls into that 1-0 affair.
Believe it or not, I think this is the first time UNI is on the left side of the field. So it took them almost 15 minutes to get over there. And again, Corey, it's so important to switch fields and utilize the width. It just helps open up the game for either team. And Missouri State has done a good job so far.
I understand that, but I prefer when they play on the right side of the field because they're closer to us and I can read the numbers easier.
I totally understand.
Got to check my prescription again here or use my binoculars, one or the other. Missouri State now with the set on the far side. They'll send one in here. Northern Iowa's Kelsey Yarrow clears it out. Then Missouri State takes it right back. Can they get the ball up and through? No, they had the play that they wanted. They'll have to find a different line here. Short touch pass. Now they'll send it back out and try to reset. They have trouble getting it settled. That time for Kuhnfield, and she'll back it up. This one bombed up and into the air, headed down by Northern Iowa. We've played almost 15 minutes of college soccer here in Springfield, Missouri. That one turning into the box was sent back out by Jenny Wick. Northern Iowa, Jan, doing a really good job of just packing it back in defensively in front of their keeper, Richenberger.
Yes, they are, and Missouri State seems like they like to go up through the middle. And here again, start looking to the wings and try to spread them out.
Get another ball in, but quickly that Panther defense pushes it back out. They find Hannah McDevitt, and she gives it up. Panthers back on the attack here.
That's
Missouri.
a good ball.
Missouri State defensively will have to get back in a hurry. Sarah Brandt waiting in the middle, see if they can get it to her. They get a little bit of a foot on one, but the Bears defense able to stand tall again. And this is good for a young goalkeeper. The freshman Palacio back there hasn't really been tested yet, giving her the opportunity to kind of get into the flow of the game. So we've got a whistle and a foul. It'll be a free kick for Northern Iowa. Told you Bruce Erickson in his first year at Northern Iowa, but it's not his first year as a head coach. A career mark of 256, 204, and 43 in 25 years of coaching, and not much out of that attack as off the set piece the ball goes out of play, and Palacio will have the goal kick here.
See, to me, I'm sure that was a setup play, obviously, but to me, play the simple, quick, put the ball down and play it to your closest player and have possession of the ball and then start the movement. Because balls like that, you know, it's 50-50, or like there, went out to a goal kick.
Zimmerman was able to play it down with her foot. Northern Iowa tries to take possession again here at the center circle. That ball will roll all the way back to Palacio. Missouri State's leading scorer on the season has been their senior Mary Dizador. She leads the team with 4 goals, 10 points. She's also spent the most time on the playing surface this year, 1,194 minutes played so far for Rob Brewer's Bears. She netted 1 game winner so far this season and has buried 2 out of her 3 penalty kick opportunities as Missouri State tries to get back on the attack here. Yarrow sends it back to the fence, and Missouri State will have another throw in. Missouri State has played almost exclusively on the far side of the field here, Jan. Now it looks like they try to set this one up on the near side.
There's
nice
a good,
give and go.
Yeah, absolutely. Very nice.
But they take it right back into the middle, and that seems to be where their attacks have bogged down. They get it back now to the right foot of Dizador. She tries to put something on goal. The Panthers will send it back out. Collecting the ball at midfield. That's Hannah McDevitt. Look at this, unmarked is Yount. Her shot sails wide right as she tried to go top shelf against Palacio.
They can't let her go like that. She was not marked tight at all. She's too dangerous. It needs to be tight marking by Missouri State there.
She was a Missouri Valley Conference member of the all-freshman team back in 2015. The young lady from Smoky Hill High School in Colorado, she's got the ball again here. Missouri State, though, clamping down and sending it back out. Palacio on the season has allowed 10 goals. She had 19 saves coming into this afternoon. She puts that one up into the ether. Sees it come down and knocked out of play on a header by Northern Iowa. Northern Iowa parents traveled really well today. A lot of purple shirts in the crowd here in Springfield. Saw them tailgating out behind our broadcast position. They had flags and Northern Iowa flags. Heck, even somebody had a Chicago Cubs flag. I'll try to let that one go.
Yeah.
No. Missouri State trying to get a good look here. This one's sent back into the middle of the playing surface. Missouri State will have to retreat to get it. Dizador gets tripped up. That'll be a foul against Northern Iowa's Kelsey Yarrow. So Missouri State a chance here from midfield. Just tripped her up that time, both going to the turf. Here's a shot and a score! And Missouri State puts one in the back of the net against one of the most prolific keepers in the nation. It's 1-0 Missouri State as they are up on the number 13 team in the country.
Yeah, the keeper should have been out a little bit more trying to cut down the angle, but that was a very, very nice shot.
That was a blast.
Yes, it certainly was. And I have to say this, Missouri State so far has had most of the possession of the ball, so I think they're well deserving of having the lead right now.
On their 5th shot of the game, Ashley Kuhnfield records the goal for Missouri State. That is her 2nd goal of the season. A Missouri product from Kearney High School. There you see her in the center of your screen. Goal coming in the 19th minute. Missouri State leads Northern Iowa 1-0.
And that's one thing Coach Brewer has really been consistent on. I was looking at the roster before the game, and Coach Brewer has 13 players from the state of Missouri, and that's impressive. That's almost half the squad.
Both of these schools predominantly recruit in their backyard a lot of Missouri products and Iowa products for both Coach Erickson and Coach Brewer. And a rare goal given up. Jan, that is only the 7th goal allowed by Jamie Richenberger this season, in this being her 11th match.
Wow. Well, here again, it was a very well-placed shot, and the only thing I could see on the replay is maybe she could have been out a little bit further to cut down the angle, but she didn't have much chance.
Well, and it was a laser. It was a low, hard line drive that by the time it came off of her foot, I was looking and it was in the back corner of the net. I mean, it got there in a hurry. Panthers with a throw in here on their own end. 23.5 minutes to go until the intermission. Missouri State still attacking, though. Kuhnfield out there misplays it. Kuhnfield only a sophomore, and this is a team today with the injuries that are really, you've got a lot of players playing in different spots than they're used to. They've got midfielders that are all of a sudden dropping back to be center backs today. They've pushed a couple of players up into the midfield because it's just what you have to do when you see 3 starters go down with injuries.
Well, it's almost like a chess game. It's and that's why many times when you get players on your roster that we used to call them utility players. The best one obviously is one who can be a forward, midfielder, or back. And
the Jose Oquendo of soccer, if you will.
Yes, there you go.
Can put them anywhere. Want somebody that can play just about any position, front, mid, or back. About the only thing you don't see is anybody anymore come out of the goal. As
No.
Northern Iowa makes a substitution here. Usually don't see, goalies are kind of like quarterbacks. You're not going to see them run out and play inside linebacker all of a sudden in Division I college football. See in the background the set pieces for one of the high school band performances rolling along down the street there. As we continue to play soccer, Missouri State another chance here. Unable to get her foot on it that time was Kaylee Putnam. Putnam right there in the middle. Had an opportunity, but the Panther defense would not allow her to get a shot off. Collision here near midfield.
That's a good call.
Missouri State's Emma Scornia from Springfield Catholic right here. Get one more look at the goal, Jan. Or the scoring chance here.
Yeah. She did the right thing. I mean, that's a one-touch ball, and if she would have gotten a hold of it one step ahead, that would have been a good opportunity.
Missouri State with a kick here right in front of the visiting bench. Lauren Fisher, the sophomore, on to take it here. That one going to drop short. Roll all the way out of play for a Missouri State throw-in. Sydney Hayden could not run it down for UNI. Missouri State, has a sub-500 record this season, but it's not for a lack of scoring chances. They have outshot their opponents 190 to 179 coming into this season with a .411 shooting percentage. They averaged 13, almost 14 shots per match. Back on September 10th against SIU East, Southern Illinois University, Edwardsville, they set season highs in shooting percentage at 45% and shots on goal percentage at better than 72.7%.
That's very impressive.
Northern Iowa looking for the equalizer here as the wind continues to howl. I'm sure you can hear it through our microphones here up on top of the press box. Ball out of play, last touched by Northern Iowa will be a Missouri State throw-in. Fresh ball here will bounce all the way back to the center stripe. Putnam tracking it down for Missouri State, and a good pass up ahead right to Emma Scornia. Scornia down the left wing will try and turn it in. She gets a shove in the back from Marianne Gagne, and the ball knocked off. Missouri State will have it here close to the corner for a throw-in. They try to put it to Scornia, and again the Panther defense punts it back to the track.
The left back needs to come up here and support this throw-in because she always needs to have an option to go back rather than throw it into traffic like this. Now Scornia got the ball there, so another throw-in. No, sorry about that, you and I. She must have.
Yep, Emma was the last one to put a foot on it, and the Panthers kind of dodge a bullet here, but Missouri State has everybody up. Their two center backs standing at midfield, everybody else up trying to hold the ball in here.
Yeah, they're trying to box them in there, forcing them to make a mistake. And as it turns out, Missouri State gets the possession of the ball.
Mary Dizador sent it all the way over to Mason Stamp, and it comes back to Stamp. She struggles to settle it here. They'll reverse the play back to the near side of the pitch. Northern Iowa's seen enough of that, and they'll just clear it out here, try to catch their breath after Missouri State, Jan, really held the ball on their attacking end for quite some time.
Yeah, they sure did. The game of soccer, it's so important to go to the ball. Many players just stand waiting for the ball. And, that wasn't good.
A great through ball, but no connection. Swing and a miss as it went all the way through, but not for a lack of trying. Northern Iowa's Sydney Hayden, the sophomore from Robbins, Iowa, had a chance, but she was spotted up well by the defense of Missouri State. Palacio with another low line drive sent right back in her direction. See who can come away with possession here. Yarrow plays it back. Scornia attacking for Missouri State, but doesn't come up with it. Ball out, it'll stay with Northern Iowa here. 17 minutes to go till we reach halftime. Missouri State holding on to a 1-0 advantage against top 25 ranked Northern Iowa. Panthers' only loss this season came at the hands of Montana. That was back September 10th. Their lone tie was against North Dakota. Barely a week later, September 17th. Prior to the loss to Montana, the Panthers were on a 6-match win streak. Nice soft pass ahead to Scornia, and she is moving. Scornia up the near side again, waiting for help. Crosses over her defender. She'll put a left foot to it into the box, but no one can come up with it. There's a takedown, and play continues as players for both clubs end up on their backs, and Missouri State will have the throw in.
Missouri State's right winger was completely wide open on this. If she could have gotten that ball across the 6-yard line, she is wide open. But a very nice opportunity for Missouri State.
Northern Iowa will send Johnny Hill into the match for her first minutes of the day. They take out Brunelle Yomp. Surprising to see the number one goal scorer on the team taken out, but she has been fairly ineffective, either based on the quality of the Missouri State's back line play today, or
Well, Corey, there was really only one time when she got away unmarked. Besides that, I think the Missouri State defense has really done a good job shutting her down.
Northern Iowa still leading in the statistically with 5 shots to Missouri State's 3, but of Missouri State's 3 shots today, 2 of them have been on goal. Each keeper with a save so far. But Jamie Richenberger letting in a rare goal to Missouri State's Ashley Kuhnfield. Some of the numbers this season for Richenberger, over 1,100 minutes played. She is the only keeper that has played this season for Northern Iowa, as you see that one last touched. Missouri State will have the kick here in front of their own bench, but coming into today, she had allowed only 6 goals, had a .49 goals against average, 39 saves, and an 86.7% save percentage. 8 shutouts. That string will end today. The Panthers will play this one all the way back, and Missouri State beats them to the punch. Hayden up the far side touchline.
It's out.
I thought they were able to save it in, but the whistle and the officials say otherwise, and now both teams will make substitutions here. Missouri State will send the junior Cassie Flynn into play for the first time, and number 13 is Haley Kearns, a senior from Gilbert, Iowa. She checks in for Bruce Erickson. Northern Iowa ranks 2nd in the Valley so far with 25 goals and 72 points on the season. And Brunelle Yount, who just checked out, leads the squad and ranks 3rd in the Valley with 8 goals. The Panthers have recorded 21 assists this season, while only allowing their opponents 7 on the goals that they have managed to tally against Richenberger. That is a gaudy statistic.
Yes, there is very much so.
Panthers looking to get something here. They play it back into the box. Missouri State's defense rolls to the far side, takes it away from Hayden. That one cleared out, last touched by a purple-clad Panther, and Missouri State will get a throw in with 12 and a half to play.
Did you see that flip throw a little earlier here? That is a great offensive weapon. I mean, she's throwing it good 35 yards plus. There she goes again.
It's remarkable. I couldn't even do a cartwheel, let alone do that. It goes all the way back, and Northern Iowa's left back picks it up. Center back will send it ahead, intended that time for Yarrow, and Missouri State contests the pass.
Well, among the referees, many times we discussed that flip throw because the hands, the ball, you're supposed to have the ball behind your head, okay, Corey? Mm-hmm. And with a flip throw, the ball never really is right behind here. You know, you put it down and then, so some referees actually blow it because they don't have the ball behind their head. So I don't think, I have never blown it.
When did that come in vogue, the flip throw? Has it been around a long time? I mean, I know I've seen it, in recent years, but was it something that was used often years ago?
Well, Corey, when I was over at this institution, Missouri State, coaching back in the 80s, out of my 11 years, I think I only saw it one time. Now, the last 10 years,
different
I'd say,
story.
Yes, it is. Because it really can become, as I said earlier, a great offensive weapon. It's like a corner kick. You get down on the offensive third, it's like a corner kick.
Morgan Teal didn't have anybody with her, pulls the trigger, and it goes out. And Lexi Palacio will have another goal kick here. Players congregate in the center of the playing surface, and it's played down that time by McDevitt. Scornia now on the opposite side. She was running the near side earlier, now is flipped sides, and Northern Iowa has a good push here. They've got 4-5 players up now as Skornia tries to take it away. But they will whistle her, and Northern Iowa will have a free kick from the far side.
Make sure we track our guys.
Kearns will put this one back in play. Missouri State has trouble clearing it out, but then Cassie Flynn able to do so and send it back to the center stripe. Shot 6-3 in favor of Northern Iowa. That is also the same tally so far in fouls today. Northern Iowa doubling up Missouri State in that statistical category. Missouri State only committing 3 fouls to Northern Iowa 6. No cards so far to this point in today's contest. That one will bounce back to Jamie Richburger.
But here again, Corey, I mean, how many shots on goal has Northern Iowa had? I think maybe one.
One so far on the stat monitor. Oh, tough collision, but play continues. Dizador tries to send it ahead for Missouri State after Emma Skornia was knocked to the turf. There's a hard hit, a shot into the face that time of Cassie Flynn, but she's up and still fighting. Missouri State turns it back to Kuhnfield. She's got the goal in this one so far, but plays it into the middle, and it's completely taken away by the defensive front for Northern Iowa. Low kick sent out to Flynn. She fights through one Panther, then plays it off another one here. 2 more subs now for Bruce Erickson as he sends in Claire Netton and Jamie Althizer. Althizer with a goal and assist, and there you see the physical play, Jan, and no reason to blow the whistle in either event.
Well, ref is probably saying 50-50 ball, but
Yep.
it looked to me like that was no shoulder tackle. That was more like a football tackle almost. So, yeah, if I was out there, I would have blown that.
No football here on the Missouri State campus this weekend. The Missouri State football Bears on their bye week, waiting for their next opponent. But we do have plenty of the other kind of football. The wind picks up again here. 7.5 minutes to go until the break. Some of the numbers that this Northern Iowa club has put up this year is going to make this one of the most successful seasons in the school's history. Right now in the NCAA rankings, Northern Iowa is in the top 10 in shutout percentage and in the top 10 for win-loss tie percentage. So we get the ball put back into action here. The Panthers' 8 shutouts to this point have tied a record in that category, and they've already tied the school record for most wins with 10s, and they've got plenty of soccer left to play this season. Plus the Missouri Valley Conference soccer tournament that will be played right here at the Betty and Bobby Allison South Stadium, as there's another shot for the Bears.
Yeah, and I believe that's the first time to get to host the Valley, I believe.
Yep, they're hosted here at this facility. The one thing I did find interesting when I talked to Bruce Erickson earlier today, when he was back coaching with Creighton, that was the first event that was ever held on this field was a women's soccer match between Creighton and Missouri State, and Coach Erickson was here for that. He says this is a top flight facility, and they really look forward to coming back and having the conference and the league title decided here in Springfield.
Well, last year was the first year that the men received to host the tournament. So this is great that the women's team gets to do it this year.
I would think that this facility would be often used for that. Obviously, the league has to move it around and keep it fair and balanced, but there are not very many facilities as nice and as new as this one is here in Springfield as Palacio starts and then restarts here to send the ball back toward the center circle. Fought for Missouri State, knocks it down and gets it back on the Panthers' end of the pitch. Good push ahead again by Scornia.
Scornia has some speed, definitely.
She does. The double team comes to her side, and the ball goes back out of play. It'll be a Panther throw in. Missouri State sends Brooke Zinner on for the final 5 minutes. Northern Iowa will counter with Maddie Gurman, a 5'6" sophomore that transferred from Murray State University to Cedar Falls, Iowa. Missouri State waits for the ball. Free kick here. I think the ball bounced up. I think they had a handball there on the far side against Northern Iowa. Missouri State looking for their second goal of the day. They get it close, headed out by the Panthers. Then they quickly send it back out. Missouri State will have a throw in over between the M and the I on the far side of the field. Missouri State has another home match here in 10 days. On October 17th, they'll play host to the Drake Bulldogs. Long throw in here towards Scornia. She gets hip checked, stays up.
We get a corner. Missouri State gets a corner.
So I believe that's the first corner kick that either one of these teams have had today. You have to look back in the statistics. Yeah, this will be the first corner for either club today. Missouri State will have the corner from the far side as the clock continues to wind down here in the final minutes of the first half. So a great set piece and an opportunity to add to their 1-0 advantage. See what Rob Brewer draws up here. Ball kind of knocked down by the wind, I think, that time. And it's going to be another corner here as the ball caroms off the Panthers.
That corner kick was very well placed. It was placed right between the 6 and the PK. I mean, the goalkeeper will not come out on the cross like that. And it was picture perfect. It's just not enough Missouri State players in there, too.
Scornia in the box with Richenberger. She comes off her line, punches it out. Missouri State trying to hold it in. Dizador gets there. They'll keep it on the attacking end from the far side. Long pass in, knocked up, shot rejected by the defense. It bounces around. Did it cross the line? No! The Panthers miraculously keep the score 1-0. Holy cow, what a wild fricas in the box.
Boy, Corey, I haven't seen anything like that for a long time. That was something else.
A beautiful ball. Richenberger knocks it out. Scornia tries to head it in. 2 shots at it. Marianne Gagne basically makes a save. She's not a goalie, I'd like to point out, but able to keep it out. Third corner for Missouri State, and that one played back behind the goal. It'll be a goal kick here for Richenberger with 95 seconds to go. Julianne Trezino, a redshirt junior, in for the final 90 seconds. She'll give Sydney Hayden a chance to catch her breath on the sideline. What a frenzy there between
absolutely.
the posts.
Almost like a pinball machine, you know. The ball was going.
Cannot believe that didn't end up being a goal for Missouri State. They hold on to a 1-0 advantage here over number 13 Northern Iowa. They get it played ahead. Bryn McQuaid in for Missouri State. Can't quite get the ball to stay on that end. It comes back to the middle third of the field. There'll be a whistle, and the Panthers will get the kick here after the Missouri State foul. Good quick pass upfield. Did you look at the foul on the tackle there? Claire Netton trying to bring it up. She keeps the ball in play, and Missouri State will clear it off. They've got less than 30 seconds to hold up here. Teal with the throw in now. And Dizador just killing time here, sends that one back out of play, and Teal will have to chase it down. That one played in the box. They'll get a shot here. They can't get it through traffic. That one tall. Palacio falls down, but it doesn't matter. The errant scoring chance for Northern Iowa means we have made it through the first 45 minutes of this Missouri Valley Conference soccer matchup. And Missouri State with an upset bid on their mind as they lead Northern Iowa 1-0 here in Springfield.
See what you like, pay no mind, 'cause I've heard it before 1,000 times. You can break my bones, but you'll never.
While other insurance companies just see a truck, we see something you've worked really hard for. So why not give it the protection it deserves?
It's just what you see.
The next time your group needs to charter a motor coach, rely on a collegiate sports tradition. Call Cavallo Bus Lines. This family-owned company is the proud carrier of 35 college and university sports teams across the Midwest for 70 years. Now nationwide, Cavallo tops the charts in comfort and passenger-pleasing features, including Wi-Fi and plug-in power. So when your group needs transportation for school, corporate, or sporting events or private parties, call Cavallo. Cavallo is the way to go.
We are the wanderers. We are the ones who go out amongst the trees to get back to our roots. The ones with rivers flowing in our veins and an internal compass that always points toward the great outdoors. It's all within reach. Ascend. Gear for the adventure in you. Available at Bass Pro Shops and other fine retailers.
You each drive a Ford pickup, right?
Yes, sir.
I'm going to show you a next.
Betty and Bobby Allison South Stadium rocking here on a Saturday afternoon in Springfield, Missouri, as the homestanding Bears have made it a 1-0 advantage as we reach halftime. And Jan, that goal was electric, but maybe not as crazy as the play that we saw in the final 5 minutes between the pipes, as Jamie Richenberger had a lot of traffic in front of her. There was a lot going on, and it's hard to believe Missouri State didn't come away with a goal there.
Oh, you're absolutely right, Corey. But, you know, if you look at the stats and the records before the game, I think Missouri State has surprised UNI. They have played a good game so far. I feel that they have had most of the possession. Missouri State has only had 5 shots, but out of those 5 shots, 3 is probably on goal. UNI has had 8, and 1 or 2 on goal.
Missouri State will have to be careful in the second half. They've given up 16 second half goals. See how they can stand up against Northern Iowa after this.
Hi, my name is Olina Einarsdóttir. I am from Söðarkrókur, Iceland, and I play soccer for Missouri State. I probably started playing soccer around the age of 6. It was me, my dad, and my brother. We used to like play in the hallway and out in the yard. But I also used to play with the boys team because we didn't have a girls team where I lived. So I started playing with the boys, and then later we got a girls team, so I started playing with them. We don't have college sports in Iceland, so I reached out to a couple named Jona and Brynjar. They run a company called Soccer and Education USA. So they both played in the States, so they have like connections to coaches. So they helped me a lot, setting up my video and stuff. And from that, I like got in touch with Coach Brewer, and I like video chatted with him a few times. But yeah, then I didn't really know what I was getting into, so I just kind of went for it, and it all worked out.
We were looking for a player with a little bit more experience than what your typical freshman might have. And Alina was looking to come to the States, and you know, we saw videotape after videotape and just really thought she would fit well into what we're trying to do.
I think playing defense is a lot more mental than you would think. It's a lot about being smarter and outsmarting the opponent. Like, if you're smart enough, it can make things a lot easier back there.
She does bring more experience in a certain way, but it's a different approach to the game. For us right now, currently she plays center back, so we need her to organize, which is a bit of a challenge because of the language. So she gives a lot of direction back there, and she's a tough kid who works really hard. And I think you know, she's been a very positive impact for us this year.
I think coming here has changed me as a person. I think it's just coming to a new culture really like opens your eyes to new things, and you get to experience so much you wouldn't otherwise have. And I think that's definitely something everyone should look into doing if they possibly can.
I mean, she's an honest and caring person. I think she cares about the team. She looks like a different player now. She's stronger, she's quicker, and I think she's making decisions better, which has helped her play a lot.
If I would do it all over again, I definitely would come here. Like, I really did not know what I was getting into, but I just figured, like, why not? Like, I don't think you ever regret doing something like that, but I think I would definitely have regretted it if I had chosen not to come. So I think just grab the opportunities you have and make the best out of them.
DirecTV has been rated #1 in customer satisfaction over cable for 17 years running. But some people still like cable, just like some people like pushing a boulder up a hill forever. Switch to #1 rated customer satisfaction over cable. Call 1-800 DirecTV.
Welcome back to women's college soccer on a Saturday afternoon in Springfield, Missouri. It's the Valley on ESPN3. Corey Riggs and Jan Stahli here at halftime as Missouri State leads Northern Iowa 1-0. Some of the highlights in the first half, you couldn't really start this game without talking about the weather here in town. A windy start to this one, and it has been problematic at times for both of these teams. And that'll change as the second half begins. But Jan, both these goalies weren't tested a lot in the opening 10 or 15 minutes, but boy, that changed at about the midway point of the first half.
Yeah, it really did. And I'll tell you what, both teams had some quality chances, even though I feel Missouri State had more of the quality chances.
Nothing better than Ashley Kuhnfield's goal there, as you see Cassie Flynn with that flip throw in. And this one, I still don't know how the ball never got in the goal, as you see just a crazy rugby-like scrum there before the UNI Panthers finally cleared it off. But a good job by Northern Iowa's defense to stand tall there, as Missouri State leads in this one 1-0. We will step aside. When we come back, we'll get you ready for the start of the second half here in Springfield, Missouri. Missouri State leads Northern Iowa by 1. Both of our teams return to the playing surface here at Betty and Bobby Allison South Stadium, getting ready to start the second 45 minutes. This Missouri Valley Conference soccer matchup between Northern Iowa as they trail Missouri State 1-0. Missouri State getting the lone goal from Ashley Kuhnfield, her second of the season. The sophomore gives Rob Brewer's club the 1-0 advantage. And Jan, take a quick look at the stats here. You see the shots in favor of Missouri State, but shots on goal 3-1 there. More fouls against Northern Iowa, and Missouri State had all three of the corner kicks. Northern Iowa never got a corner kick in the first half of play, and if you're Bruce Erickson at halftime. What sort of game plan are you maybe coming out here with in the second half to attack Missouri State?
I would look for UNI to put high pressure on Missouri State here the first 12, 15 minutes and try to get the equalizer.
They're already attacking here at goal left. The ball sent back out of the box, but Northern Iowa plays it back in. So Missouri State, Northern Iowa have switched ends here to start the second half. Good collection that time by Allison Bitter. They send it forward, but out of play here in the opening minute. The goalies in the first half, Jamie Richenberger, played all 45 minutes, had 2 saves, but allowed 1 goal. That is the 7th goal that Jamie has allowed in the 2017 season. A clean sheet so far for Lexi Palacio. Only 1 save. That was really because of the way her defense played in front of her. Not a lot of opportunities for the Panther offense in the first 45.
No, Missouri State's defense really played a good first half.
And maybe what makes it that much more remarkable is here's a pop-up. It's knocked down by Kuhnfield. Panthers play it back out. Maybe the more impressive thing is not only does Rob Brewer and Missouri State have a different goalie today with Caitlin Maxwell out with an injury sustained at Indiana State, but they lost 2 center backs as well. So, I mean, that's the core triangle of your defense. When you lose a couple of center backs and your goalie, that's like losing a quarterback and a center, in football.
Yeah, you're right. And so far, I mean, like I said earlier, Missouri State has adjusted real well for the lineup today.
Teal, hard throw in. Missouri State trying to clear it out here. The Panthers continue to push. That one shot in that time by McDevitt, quickly collected by Palacio. Missouri State will continue to have it here as another marching band warms up across the way, and the wind brings it in here to the Betty and Bobby Allison South Stadium. Great job now. Missouri State splits a couple of defenders, but pulls the attack back. Pushing forward to Kuhnfield. She's in the middle. Tries to go with the left foot, and it's caromed off a Panther. UNI plays it back to midfield. Missouri State trying to turn it around, and that time a good opportunity, but the pass just too far beyond the intended target. Missouri State has at least 4 guaranteed games remaining on the schedule before the postseason. They have scored more goals this season than they did in all of 2016. They have now scored 18 goals so far this season. Last year, Jan, in the totality of the 2016 season, they had only netted 15. So already Rob Brewer seeing some new faces adding to the scoring and the production for this Missouri State team. Panthers will get the throw in. Good spin and turn. Played with the back foot. That one shot high above the crossbar that time. Another opportunity for Hannah McDevitt.
Well, again, a good job by the defense because they're not giving them any openings to do any through balls or anything like that. So that's what you got to end up doing, trying to take a shot.
Tell Northern Iowa pressing the issue now as 3 forwards all kind of waiting back as Teal brings it up this time. Trying to trigger this Panther push. That one knocked off a Missouri State defender. That is going to be the first corner kick of the afternoon for Northern Iowa. So definitely more pressure up front now for the Panthers.
Well, I hear, Corey, on this corner kick, every single Missouri State player is back. Almost every one of them is inside the 6-yard box.
Everybody except for Kuhnfield, who's going to kind of come out and pressure the corner here that's coming from McDevitt. She puts it up with the left foot, headed out by Missouri State, and a high kick will send the ball back toward midfield. Morgan Teal back for it. Another Iowa product from Davenport, Iowa, Davenport Central High School. Missouri State will throw this one in. Mason Stamp to trigger it. The first 5 minutes of the second half has almost exclusively been played in front of the Missouri State goal. Missouri State's Rachel Cottrell tripped up, no whistle. Play continues. Dizador with a high arching kick that'll drop at the midline. Headed back by Gagne.
Dangerous. Oh. I didn't see a foul there, Corey, but
I don't think Emma Scornia saw a foul there either, partner, but either way, the Panthers will put it back in. Here's the replay.
Oh, well, yeah, I guess she got her left leg there, maybe.
It was quite a bit of an extension, though, by the Northern Iowa player.
Yeah.
Now Richenberger plays it back to the center circle. Richenberger setting national numbers at the junior college level a year ago. This year as the keeper for Northern Iowa, and she even did the same in high school. As here's a ball played back and off. Now by 0-0, Lexi Palacio. In Richenberger's high school career, she played all 4 years at Bishop Carroll High School, the Golden Eagles. Collected all region, first team all city, second team all state selection starting as early as her sophomore season. Here's Pronzinski now, trying to get around the defender. Little stutter step. She steps around and it's taken away. Good defense that time by Allison Bitter. Missouri State will have a throw in just down the road from their bench. Mason Stamp will stop and talk to Rob Brewer. Get the instructions from her head coach. 22 seasons now here at Missouri State for Rob Brewer. Brewer, a 1977 graduate of Lynchburg, and now here's a whistle.
It's a goal kick.
Infraction against Missouri State will allow the junior keeper to put this one back in. Northern Iowa last year finished 8-3 overall, 2-2 in the Missouri Valley Conference, and brought 9 starters back. Their keeper, obviously, the junior college transfer, a new one. This was a team that expected big things this season, and they have with the top 25 ranking. But so far to this point, they have been derailed by Missouri State, and that ball was kicked out by Northern Iowa. So it goes back to the maroon and white of Missouri State. Hard throw back in. Northern Iowa able to collect it. Headed in and on. Played back to the near corner. Great job by Brunel Yount to chase it all the way down into the near corner. Here's a shot. Won't make it through.
Corner kick.
It will be a Panther corner kick here as it went off the shins of the defender. But man, what hustle just to get back, keep that ball in, and then a good pass and a good strike leads to the second corner kick of the day for UNI. That one played off a Missouri State defender. You could tell Palacio wanted her to clear out and let her collect it.
Exactly, and the right way, or the girl on the post should have just stepped into the goal so she could have caught the ball. But, you know, it went so quickly, so she didn't get it done.
Panthers play this one back in. Palacio able to grab it with both hands. She'll slow things down here, let her line get out in front. Play forms up in front of Lexi Palacio. She sends it far side. See if Scornia can run it down. Couldn't tell if that ball bounced up into the hand of the Northern Iowa player, if it went over the touch line.
I think it went over the touch line.
I think it did too. So I wait to see if she's going to throw it or kick it.
Yeah.
That one out, last touch by Missouri State, so they turn it over as they get close to Richenberger in the goal, and the Panthers will be able to start it up the other way. In this all-time series, Missouri State went on a 12-game winning streak at one time over Northern Iowa that went from the calendar year of 2003 all the way to 2013. So a decade of dominance had Missouri State in the early 2000s. But since then, Missouri State's most recent win over Northern Iowa came 2 years ago, back in 2015. They outscored Northern Iowa 2-1 in that one. Missouri State's record all-time at home against these Panthers, 11 wins against 2 losses. Quick Missouri State throw here. It'll be a corner for Missouri State. Ball last touched by Northern Iowa. Shots on goal have evened up now at 3 apiece for Missouri State and Northern Iowa. The only goal to speak of still from Ashley Kuhnfield, a strike from 18 yards out. Well played corner, headed in the box by Northern Iowa. Missouri State will have a chance to collect it on the near side. Played back toward the goal and then knocked all the way back by the Panthers, Sydney Hayden. Fisher now with it. Nice little give and go. Fisher comes up for it, but Northern Iowa will have it, so Teal will come back for another throw in. And an early substitution for Northern Iowa as Yarrow checks in, and Jenny Wick goes back to the Northern Iowa bench. Who's going to come away with the advantage here? Missouri State pushing up. Nice play by Cottrell that time, but Northern Iowa just punts it forward. McDevitt.
Here again, Corey, they're running away from the ball. There's nobody checking into the ball. That's very difficult once you have the possession of the ball if they're just running away rather than, at least one needs to check in.
There's something to be said, Jan, and you and I both have a little bit of experience in the world of youth soccer, and when you think about that age group, when they go from playing on the smaller field to the bigger field, and I think that's one of the biggest hurdles to overcome is they think they can just stand in their spot and wait for the play to come to them. And obviously when you play on a vast space like this, somebody always has to be coming back to the ball.
Absolutely. I mean, that's just a must.
They continue to play on the far side of the field here. That one kicked up, headed out. Missouri State will throw it in here. Another regulation throw in. That tells you that Cassie Flynn isn't currently one of the 11 on the field for Missouri State. That ball spins. Missouri State can't catch up to it. Kuhnfield tried, but instead they'll turn it over to Northern Iowa. Teal trying to catch Missouri State napping here. McDevitt plays it back to the center of the field. That's Yarrow. Keep looking for 22 and 24. Yount and Brandt, the leading scorers for this Northern Iowa Panthers club. At some point in time, they're going to get involved. Jan, you talked about it a minute ago. Skornia has speed to spare. Finally, she's wiped out, and there's going to be a big foul here, and Missouri State's going to get a kick. Chasing her down that time was Yarrow, and she just got frustrated, Jan, and the slide tackle took her out.
From behind, that's a very good call. That's an automatic call. Yes, this is a good opportunity for them, Corey.
I would think we're going to have to back up the Panthers line a little bit here.
Yeah.
They're anticipating a spot that they're not going to get. So our officials will line them up here in Missouri State now with a free kick just outside the box. Another line drive, and that's what you expect from the goalie for Northern Iowa. As Richenberger just completely took that one away.
Scary part, Corey, they looked like that ball went right through the wall, and that shouldn't happen.
Kuhnfield plays it in the middle of the field. She tries to rotate back, and we've got a Panther sitting down. This is Jordan Raleigh. Who I was told was not going to be playing because of a collarbone injury. Now, did I misread that? No, that is. And so Johnny Hill, she wears number 19. She'll check in for her first minutes of the second half. When I talked to the coaching staff, I didn't think Raleigh was going to get any minutes today. They said she suffered a collarbone injury. She's a transfer from Louisiana Tech University. Well, that one had some great hang time. Finally drops down to the turf. Missouri State looking for a takeaway here. Dizador doing battle with Kelsey Hansen. The Panthers will come away with it. Long run and a high throw here. Dizador belts it back down the line and out of play. Told you Brandt and Yount all ranked currently in the NCAA for scoring. Brandt is top 10 in the nation for game-winning goals. She has 4. And Yount is in the top 15 for goals per game at just under 1 at .78 goals per match. There is Brandt. Big boot sends it ahead. Palacio gloves it down. Palacio sends it back to the center of the turf with a big right foot. Dizador looks to spot Skornia and does. 3-on-3 as they push back. The Panthers drop 2 back more defensively. Near side to Kuhnfield, and it just bounced right over her toe.
As a player, that's an awful feeling when that happens.
Especially when you've got a good attack going, and that one just an unforced error against Missouri State. Hayden trying to fight through the defense. She and Fisher working one another over. Fisher comes away with it. Missouri State tries to turn it, but they can't. Brandt into the scrum now. Now Dizador at speed. Has Skornia out on the left. Can Skornia catch up to it? She makes the touch and keeps it in. That cross won't go anywhere. Mishit, a slow bouncer, and it's taken away by Northern Iowa. Hill now pushing the issue for the Panthers. She finds a teammate out on the right wing. Look at that. Missouri State turns them away again. It'll be a purple throw-in.
Their defense, as I've stated several times, has really played a good game. I think Missouri State has played a good game today so far.
You know, when you and I were last here, Jan, and we were watching the Missouri State men's team, we used the phrase that John Leamy has that their defense this year has been bend but don't break. They've given up a lot of shots, but they've given up very few goals, and that kind of seems to be a philosophy that the Missouri State women have adopted today.
Yes, definitely so.
14 shots on goal for 14 shots for Northern Iowa, 3 shots on goal so far in this one. Missouri State, in contrast, with 11 shots, 4 shots on goal. Both keepers now with 3 saves each. Northern Iowa gets a new ball, and we'll put it back into play here. 24:45 remaining in the second half. Missouri State will go ahead and send this one back and out of play. Missouri State will host the Missouri Valley Conference Women's Soccer Championships right here at the Betty and Bobby Allison South Stadium. Mark that on your calendar, November 3rd, 4th, and 5th. The first round of the tournament on October 29th played at home sites before bringing the contest to Springfield, Missouri. Yount with the throw in here. You see what's coming up for Northern Iowa. They'll make a trip to Des Moines, Iowa to take on Drake on October 10th. Then travel to Valparaiso, Indiana to take on the Crusaders on the 14th. Then a battle of top 25 ranked teams against Loyola on October 21st. Then they'll host the Sycamores of Indiana State. As Coonfield had a great attack pushing forward, Teal plays it off here. Missouri State will continue after this substitution as they send Cassie Flynn back in. See if Flynn rolls through that flip throw here from there, Jan. She ought to be able to darn near throw it into the goal.
Absolutely. There it goes. Nobody
right
there.
In, but nobody home that time. A misplay by the Missouri State forwards. Nobody up there to put a good strike on it. Bitter plays it back out to midfield for UNI. Yarrow feeds it ahead to Hayden. She is covered up by Flynn. Flynn was on her hip stride for stride.
She did a very good job there in shielding the ball. Very strong.
Teal rolls it forward, then puts it back in with the left foot. A shove into Sarah Brandt, but she stands up. Scornia had a chance for a moment, and then the Panthers push it back to midfield. Good battle, but there ended up being a little bit of a push at the end of that, Jan. Kelsey Yarrow got that arm extended.
Yep, absolutely. Anytime the ref sees that arm extended like that, it's usually an automatic call.
Jordan Eichelman from Derby, Kansas, set to check in, but because of the foul, she won't be able to take the field just yet. Missouri State stands waiting for the whistle. They'll get back to work here. Heavy right-footed shot all the way in. Trying to turn in is Prodzinski. Prodzinski tripped up. Say it was last touched by Missouri State, and Northern Iowa will get a goal kick.
I think Missouri State should have been awarded a corner kick there.
I think that's what the fans thought too,
yeah.
partner. See, she's walking it up, it up.
Oh, yeah.
Looked like it maybe was last touched by McDevitt. But either way, it'll be Richenberger who bombs it away here. Headed back by Flynn. She continues to push forward. Gagne kicks it out. Northern Iowa going to have to play with a little bit more intensity. Too much of the second half being played in front of their own net here, and there is a hard shot.
He's calling advantage. That's why it's a good call by the referee to play the advantage.
Skornia got turned around. The Panthers will kick it out. Missouri State will have us throw in. Jan, is that maybe not the hardest thing for soccer fans to understand when of course, moms and dads like to make noise and they like to talk to the officials, but understanding that you allow the advantage to play out and see before making a whistle and calling a foul there.
Yes, and it is difficult for the fans to understand that, because many times to really get a good, you have to be an ex-player or ex-coach or whatever. Now, if it's a real flagrant foul and the ref lets them place the advantage and then she loses the ball, they will call it back to the point of infraction. But it has to be a flagrant, hard.
Missouri State, we told you, with just a handful of matches remaining after today, they will host the Drake Bulldogs here in 10 days. You can see that on ESPN3. So Mike McClure will be here for the call of that one. Then they'll go on the road to Evansville, Indiana on the 21st. Have one more home match before the postseason begins. They will host the Redbirds of Illinois State here just before Halloween on October 26th. 19 minutes to play in the second half of this one. Panthers looking for chances. Outside wing to Yarrow, and just not enough speed to get there and collect that one. An errant pass. Another turnover gives the ball back to Missouri State. Flynn touches this one down, sends it back. It goes up the line. The Panthers are there. Bitter and Skornia takes it away. The former Springfield Catholic Fighting Irish player out on the wing now. This is Kuhnfield. She crosses her defender over. Back to the left foot, but can't get it through all the traffic. Northern Iowa's defense turns them away. Dizador trying to take it away here at midfield and does. They play that back to Kuhnfield, who has to play it off of her shoulder. It's hard to get your foot on the ball when the pass ends up going to your back. This is Hayden now right up the middle. Stepping in her way was Brooke Zimmerman. Zimmerman playing in that center back position today. Now here's a whistle. We're going to have a foul and a kick.
Yes, what we were talking about, Corey, earlier. He played the advantage, but that was a very flagrant foul. You saw that the Missouri State player had a push and even held her jersey. So that was a very good call by the referee.
And this is going to give a shot to a very dangerous scorer in the form of Sarah Brandt. Brandt's been starting since she was a true freshman. She's got 6 goals and 5 assists this season. That one right into the box, and they score! Northern Iowa off the set piece, draws it even at 1. Palacio launches the ball out of the goal.
No, hold on here. The AR.
Do they call him for offsides?
No, there's no way, but there's something else, a push or a shove.
They have not put a goal up, and there will not be a goal for Northern Iowa. It has been waved off. Head coach Bruce Erickson, arms extended, wanting an explanation here. And right now, currently, the officials explaining it to the Northern Iowa players. And they just walk away shaking their heads. Keep looking down at our stat monitor, waiting to see a foul explanation put up on it. We still don't have one. I apologize for that.
Well, it's called an indirect kick because the referee has his arm up in the air like that. So it was not a obviously not a trip or push. Indirect usually is dangerous play. It's the most common one.
Wonder if somebody undercut somebody with all that was going on. Well, now they've put on here on our play-by-play an offsides call against Northern Iowa.
Well, I mean, there were
I don't
people
know
on the
how
goal
it
line.
could be.
Yeah.
Say everybody was jammed into a 10-yard area.
Right.
Either way, Northern Iowa is going to have to find a way to beat Palacio again after their first goal of the day is waved off here with 16 minutes to go.
Nice move.
Great move in, and that time Panthers will have to chase it all the way across the field, and they will not get there in time. Now Northern Iowa and Missouri State will both make changes here. Missouri State will send Rachel Cottrell back in. Northern Iowa will counter with Jamie Althizer. Althizer had a hat trick last year against Midland. Currently has a goal and assist so far in 2017. Mason Stamp will let it fly here. Teal touches it down for Northern Iowa. Jan, we kept saying Northern Iowa is going to have to ratchet up the intensity. I'd say they've done that now.
Yes, they have to turn it up a notch, that's for sure.
Gagne sends it in, headed out by Missouri State. As we near the 15-minute mark here of the second half. Bitter plays it up, and there's going to be a chance here. Stamp retreating defensively for Missouri State, and he'll let it go out of bounds. Back and through the goal line, and it'll be a kick here for Lexi Palacio. Palacio having faced 13 shots, 4 shots on goal, making saves each time. She only had to make 1 save in the first 45 minutes. Second half has been a very different story. Another substitution here for Rob Brewer's Bears. Brooke Prodzinski in now. So both Brooks in now. Prodzinski and Zimmerman both on the pitch. Skornia comes out. Man, she was electric early on in this half, and toward the end of the second half when she comes into the game, it just puts some speed, Jan, on the edge that Missouri State doesn't normally have. Good play defensively here by the Panthers to turn away another Missouri State attack. They need a goal, and they've got 13 and a half minutes to find one. Long pass ahead, won't find anybody. Missouri State turns it back. Played to the near side for Kuhnfield. Kuhnfield's goal still standing up in this one as the ball goes over the head of the defenders. Missouri State able to collect it on the far side. Crossed in, bounced up by Teal. Kuhnfield's there, but she can't find it. A lot of hand fighting here between Kuhnfield and Teal, Jan.
Yeah. But both of them were kind of doing it, so the ref just lets it go by.
See, if this was the other football, somebody would have been whistled for holding.
Yeah.
Richenberger directing traffic in front of her. A pass, but to nobody. That time as Kuhnfield had a roller that went right toward the penalty kick spot, but no Bears had pushed up to help. Ball back in now for Prodzinski. Prodzinski, a quick touch and a turn. Teal all over her. Kuhnfield in the corner, and it'll be a Missouri State corner. Another opportunity for Missouri State to get an insurance goal here as they continue their upset bid against the number 13 team in the nation. They did not fare this well, Jan, against the last ranked opponent they played. When they played Loyola, who's currently ranked 14th, Missouri State fell in that one 5-0.
Well,
Ball
I think
up, headed on, but nowhere close to the goal.
Missouri State, I think, is playing one of their better games this season, to be honest with you, Corey. They have just played very, very well.
Kind of amazing to see a team that's got players playing for the most part out of position today. rallying to take up new spots for injured players, and a line change now for Bruce Erickson as he sends 3 new players on.
He wants some fresh legs in there.
Hannah McDevitt, Jordan Raleigh, and Sarah Brandt all check back in for the University of Northern Iowa Panthers. And you knew Brandt wasn't going to be out for very long as one of Northern Iowa's most prolific goal scorers. She's got to be in for the final 10 minutes. Panthers another throw here. That one popped up. Palacio will come off her line and pull that one in.
Looks like Northern Iowa has now pushed another one up to the front line, so they got 4 forwards now. So
it's what you have to do at this point in the match. There's going to be a tight play here as Missouri State was pressuring the ball the whole way. Richenberger, though, unafraid, comes up, grabs it, and sends it back the other way. Yount on the far side.
Corner kick.
It will be Northern Iowa corner kick. All those Northern Iowa substitutions, Missouri State put Zinner in for Ashley Kuhnfield. So Missouri State's lone goal scorer in this one is out. And a huge opportunity here for Northern Iowa. That one played all the way, and give credit to both teams that time as they allowed Palacio the room to make the play. And the goalie comes up with it for MSU. Look at this. They flip the field, does Missouri State. That shot right into the back of a defender. Bitter takes that one in the back, and the Panthers see the ball yo-yo back and forth.
Yeah, she wanted a foul call there.
Cottrell wanted to foul something fierce, but is not going to get it. Quick throw now by the Missouri State keeper. She's got Jacqueline Betts on the outside. Missouri State will maintain possession here.
It'll be a free kick.
They don't need to be in any hurry here. The scoreboard and the clock are Missouri State's friends. 8.5 minutes and a 1-goal-to-none advantage here on their home field. Ball played ahead, and they will not be able to save that. Nice run that time by Eichelman, but she just ran out of real estate before the ball ended up out of play. The officials changing the position a little bit of the throw in, not letting Northern Iowa advance it up the far side. Quick one touch that time off the heel of Sarah Brandt. Missouri State, Dizador there. Yount heads it up. Zimmerman sends it back the other way. Northern Iowa get another corner kick here. How about these numbers in Bruce Erickson's first year? By the time this season is done, win, lose, or draw today, Northern Iowa is going to set a school record for most points in a season. They have had 69 coming into today. That's #1 in school history. Most goals in a season, they've already got 24 coming into today. As that one will be played out, it'll be another corner for Northern Iowa. They've already tallied the most assists in a season with 21. The most wins they'd ever had in a season was 10 back in 2003. They currently have 10 wins. And shutouts in a season, they're 8 so far. is also #1 in school history. I would say that is a pretty successful first season for Bruce Erickson and his Charges.
Yeah, and then you shared with me before the game that the seniors, they have gone through three different head coaches?
3 coaches in their 4-year careers when you talk about the seniors for Northern Iowa. And that is not an easy thing to do as defenses change and strategies change and personnel and coaches have different likes and dislikes for the types of players they have. So for these seniors, and they just came off their senior night win, they took down the V-Hawks of Viterbro on senior night. 3-0 in that one. This one played all the way back to Palacio. Another easy grab for her. Missouri State, a good ball through and ahead now. 2 players centering up, and that one up and across the goal line, and Richenberger will get ready to put this one back in play. You'll notice a change of the tempo between the 2 goalies. Richenberger with a lot more intensity, putting the ball back in quickly as opposed to Missouri State. Zimmerman fighting around a Panther, tries to get it, and instead she's going to get a whistle and a foul here.
Looks like she's also going to get a card.
Well, we hadn't seen a yellow card all day, so Brooke Zimmerman, the first to add one of those to her collection. Be a free kick here for Northern Iowa. Less than 5 minutes to go. The clock stops with 4:52 remaining after the one and only yellow card in this contest. When Northern Iowa leaves Springfield to return to Cedar Falls, win, lose, or draw, they're going to know they had opportunities in this one against Missouri State. Ball saved in. Prodzinski tries to get it for Missouri State, but it's 1 against 5, and the Purple Panthers come up with it. Ball all the way rolling to the near corner and out. Throw in for UNI. Short throw. Given right back to Hayden. She centers it up. Missouri State sends it out. Jenny Wick with the left foot. Puts it up. Headed by a teammate. That one played back in, and Missouri State dodges a bullet there. A poor play, allowing the ball to go back into the box.
Yes, they really, they should have tried to clear that out to the sideline a lot quicker. That play a little earlier, so. But
Northern Iowa now with 19 shots in this one to Missouri State's 15. These goalies have been working today.
Yes, they have.
Shots on goal in favor of the Panthers, 5 to Missouri State's 4.
Whenever they clear the ball like that, they should try to get it up in the air if they want to try to kill the clock. They got to get it up in there and try to go towards the corner, to not on the ground like that. That gets a little dangerous, especially once you're down on your half.
Mason Stamp from Wichita, Kansas, throws it back in for MSU. Missouri State could use a prolonged possession down here to help finish up the final 2:45. Dizador tries to pass back, but her teammate zigged when she should have zagged. Panthers pushing back ahead. That one's going to be played out. An odd bounce, and it's going to be a corner kick. A ball, Jan, that should have just gone straight out toward the track. Spun and kicked left at the last minute, went across the goal line. So this is a corner kick now for Hannah McDevitt. Devitt has taken all of them from that corner. This one's going to be right on, and another save high above her head for the freshman.
She's playing with some confidence. Well done.
Palacio does it again. Palacio in place of Caitlin Maxwell today, the red shirt freshman who's out injured after the Bears win over the Sycamores. Missouri State's defensive back line clogs up the middle and sends it back and out. 90 seconds now is all that Northern Iowa has left to work with.
Yeah, there.
Nice play by Brooke Zimmerman, sending it back toward midfield. I was getting ready to say, I think that's going to be a trip against Northern Iowa. Wasn't sure as they were both coming down who got under who that time. Missouri State fires it back the other way with under a minute to go now. Northern Iowa
offsides.
That may be, it took us a half before we got a corner kick, and I don't know that that's not only the first or second offsides call we've had. The only reason why I say it's the second is because that's still what they put down as the infraction on that goal that was taken off the board from Northern Iowa. This is going to do it here, the final 5 seconds, and Missouri State upsets the number 13 team in the nation as they take down Northern Iowa by a final of 1-0. The Bears collect their 6th win of the season. They move to 2-2 in Missouri Valley Conference play. It's the first conference loss of the season for the Panthers. They fall to 2-1 in the league, 10-2-1 overall on the season. A huge upset today for Missouri State over Northern Iowa. Up next, Missouri State will wait 10 days till they take on the Drake Bulldogs. That'll do it for Jan Stolle and Corey Riggs here today in Springfield. A huge win for Rob Brewer and the Missouri State Bears. Final score in this one, Missouri State wins 1-0. To watch this entire game on replay as well as other games on our family of ESPN networks, you can log on to watchespn.com or download the Watch ESPN app. Thanks everybody for watching. This has been a presentation of ESPN.